Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure everything's centered as always. Always gives me trouble. How's everybody doing? Um, this is the first live episode. Last week I did it pre-recorded because I was on a bit of a weird sleep schedule and I knew I wouldn't be awake. Or sorry, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Last episode. Last week was on my other channel. So, as always, the link to my other channel is in the description. I'm gonna try my best to keep this professional and just focus on the topic at hand, since I know this is part of a series. If someone wants to watch it in the playlist, I don't want to ruin it by just treating it like a live stream, but do be patient with me because I'm gonna need a second to just get into the flow of things. Okay. I can't be too picky. I think it's good. So, let me explain what this is. I have two shows, I have two channels, and the link to my other channel is in the description. On my other channel, I have a show called Fallen World, where I talk every other week, just like on the, this is like on my off weeks, I do this channel, and I kind of rotate back and forth every week. Same time every week. But I am going to slightly change that system. So let me explain what I mean. I'm going to be doing live streams every other Sunday at 8 p.m. on this channel, and same with the other channel on my off weeks on this channel. But those aren't necessarily always going to be new episodes of this show, and I might do new episodes of this show at random points throughout the week. So this show is not synonymous with my schedule, if that makes sense. Like, my live stream schedule and this show aren't the same thing. It's just sometimes going to coincide. Sometimes my Sunday night live streams are going to be an episode of this show, and sometimes not. Same with the other channel. This gives me the freedom to do a new episode of this whenever I want, and also doesn't force me to do a new episode if I can't think of anything or if it just doesn't feel right. So, hopefully it's going to be the other way around, because I actually feel like I could do it more often. I want to be doing this more frequently instead of only doing it on Sundays. But let me explain what the shows are and what the difference is. So the other show, Fallen World, is more debate-oriented, and I'm going to be featuring guests. Same with this channel, I may also feature guests. But where that channel is more about disproving points and sort of being educational, this is more just a discussion between people who kind of already think the same way. So if you disagree with me, if you don't agree with anything that I say tonight, and you want to argue with me about it, take it over to my other channel. Again, link is in the description. So the format for these videos, when I have a guest, they're going to be 60 to 90 minutes, and when I'm doing them by myself, they're going to be 20 to 30 minutes, not counting the time it takes me to do the intro. So I'll go for an extra 3 minutes. That's actually pretty good, only 3 minutes of an intro. So, okay, let's get started. Tonight we're talking about the golden rule. I wasn't sure what to call this video. I knew what I wanted to talk about. I knew what my topic of discussion was going to be, because I have had a lot of interesting things happen to me in the past week, and there has been a theme of treating other people the way you want to be treated. And I only just realized, literally the second I came up with the title for this video, right before I went live, this was like 5 minutes ago I came up with this, I realized that that was the issue, that it's about treating people the way you want to be treated. So I just want to discuss that with you. I want to talk about some of the experiences that I've had this week, and why the golden rule is so important. So this morning I was talking about morality, and I realized that I kind of agree with the concept of moral particularism, which is the idea that there are no fixed rules. And my interpretation of that is that there's nothing that is, no action, no word, no object, no physical material, nothing. All of these things are neutral in and of themselves. Every word, even slurs, even harmful, hurtful words, in and of themselves are neutral. It's only the context that makes it good or bad. And this was something George Carlin pointed out, my favorite comedian. And I didn't make the connection that it isn't just words, it's everything. Everything is neutral without context. Even committing murder, killing someone. killing someone can sometimes be okay in the right context. Killing someone in and of itself is just a neutral, meaningless activity. It's only the context that makes it good or bad. So here's an example of a good context. Let's say someone breaks into your house, sneaks into your bedroom, tries to kill you in your sleep, but you wake up, you grab the lamp and you smash them in the head, and they die. Or maybe they don't die, but you take the knife and you kill them because you don't want to risk them getting back up and chasing you like what happens in all the horror movies. That is perfectly understandable. You know what I mean? I think people in horror movies really should be killing their attackers because they always seem to get back up and just keep going. When you have someone actively making an attempt on your life, how can you know, not kill them? They're coming at you. They're not really giving you much of a choice. So I don't think there's really anybody who would say, "No, that's wrong. You can't kill him." It's like, "Well, he's trying to kill me. What am I supposed to do? He's chasing me. He's coming after me." It's not like he's sitting at his home plotting to kill me. He's actually out there doing it. He's in my house. He's running after me. Like that's what I'm saying. When someone makes the conscious decision to go on the attack, whether it's conscious or not, actually, all that matters is that they are attacking someone else. Doesn't matter if they're mentally ill, doesn't matter if they mean it, doesn't matter if they'll regret it later. What matters is that it's what's happening. They're doing it, and you have to defend yourself. If you don't stop them by whatever means necessary, they're going to kill you. And when someone puts you in a situation where it's kill or be killed, hurt or be hurt, you can't just let someone kill you. You can't just let someone hurt you. You have to defend yourself. So that is proof that sometimes killing is okay. However, I wouldn't call it murder. It's only murder if you kill someone who wasn't attacking you, if you kill someone when it wasn't self-defense. But again, murder is a context-oriented word in the first place. So, that doesn't really disprove anything that I'm saying. I just wouldn't call it murder. So the argument that I was having this morning was about whether or not morality is objective. I think it is. I don't think that it's reasonable to say that morality, what's right and wrong, is an opinion. Because what if we just say, oh, well, it's an opinion, then how are we ever going to establish rules and consequences? Everyone basically will just be able to do whatever they want, completely rule-free, which means people will be attacking, hurting, killing each other, treating each other like absolute horseshit, and have zero consequences, zero follow-through. And you may believe in something higher, you may believe in like karma or some type of higher power to deliver justice, but I also believe, even if you believe that, sometimes people just have to accept the karma of their own decisions. And if we consciously choose to cultivate a society with absolutely no rules and consequences, that in itself is something that deserves karma in my mind. So I don't know if that's coherent. I don't know if I just made sense to you. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. But by the way, I'm still getting a feel for things. I think this will be a lot better if I have guests. But honestly, both series, Fallen World and Just Between Us, are going to work really well with guests because a discussion versus a debate, that's the best way I can summarize it. And I think the titles kind of, cover that. Fallen World I named because we're talking a lot about politics and about the state of the world. And Just Between Us is just kind of like sitting and having tea and just like discussing some of the crazy shit that we might be talking about in the other show and having debates with crazy people. And let's be honest, there are some people who are just impossible to talk to. Very, very hard to debate with. So, anyway, where was I? I was talking about the conversation I had this morning. Yeah, the idea that morality is subjective, I don't think is applicable, because if you just let people do whatever they want and go crazy, then you're basically just asking for horrible things to happen. And you could say, well, it's not up to us, just let karma handle it. Karma is handling it. You're the one receiving the bad karma because you're not stepping up and playing your part. You're letting people hurt other people. It's sort of like if you walk past a bully beating someone up on the playground and say, well, that's that person's right. They believe it's right, and morality is just an opinion. So if they believe it's right, it must be so. I don't believe it's right, but who am I to tell that person what's right and wrong? Let's just let them beat that other person up, and then I'll just keep going on with my life. you're the one that's going to have bad karma for making that decision because you're allowing someone to get hurt. So, this is why it's important to understand morality is innate, and it always has been. And I had people trying to dispute this with me. I had people trying to tell me that I was wrong, and I don't understand this mentality at all. Um, this is the kind of thing I would talk about on the other channel if I had someone to, conflict, you know, someone conflicting that I could actually argue with and present different points. But on this channel, I just want to talk about it. So here's my thoughts. I think if you want to say, I just bit my cheek. Oh man, that hurts. If you want to say that morality is just an opinion, there is no such thing as objective morality, you're really setting yourself up for a very, very messy situation, and you probably won't come out of it alive. I gotta be honest. You're gonna wish that you had gone down the road of embracing the reality that morality is objective. It's innate. Everyone has a conscience, and I had people trying to convince me that even that changes over time. They tried to convince me that it's about what's popular. They're like, well, the popular opinion of morality is based on the situation, and if people in a society, in a large group, found themselves in a situation where they needed to kill someone, then killing would be moral. And it's like, okay, what is an example of a situation where people need to kill people other than self-defense, immediate self-defense? And I laid out some examples. I respect. They gave me an example. They were like, well, pick Group A and Group B, and they're told that they can't both survive. So then, of course, they'll try to kill each other. And I said, wait, hold on. That's a leap. If Group A and Group B, when we're assuming they're all good people, moral people, are told that they need to kill each other, what would ideally happen is instead of just attacking each other, they would say, oh my God, I don't want to kill these people. They're my friends. I don't know if you've ever seen the Dark Knight. It's the second movie in the Batman trilogy from or the Dark Knight trilogy, I guess is actually what it's called, with Heath Ledger as the Joker. There's a social experiment the Joker does where he puts two people on a boat and gives them both the ability to blow up the other boat, or two people on not two. I'm sorry. There's prisoners and regular people both on two different boats, and they both have the ability to make the other boat explode. And they're both told that he's going to make both boats explode if one of them doesn't kill the other before a certain time, something like that. And he's trying to see which one will do it first. Will the prisoners kill the regular people? Will the regular people kill the prisoners? Whatever. Something like that. And, what I found really interesting was nobody could do it. Nobody felt comfortable killing someone else to save themselves. And that, to me, shows that there's an instinct, there's something inside people, and I think it is based on empathy. I think it's based on having real human connections with other people. I think there's science behind that, too. I've heard about, like, I don't remember, I can't source this, but this isn't the channel for me trying to prove anything anyway, this is just discussion. I've heard of an experiment where, they gave, like, a baby monkey or something, some type of animal, that was a baby, a choice between food and its mother, and it went to the mother. Now, you could say, well, maybe it's because the mother had the food, but that doesn't change the fact that that baby had food right in front of it, milk, whatever, and it still chose the other living being to go to instead. That relationship. And because what does a mother provide? Even more powerful than food, it provides what food means, a sense of security, a sense of safety, that you can let your guard down and trust that person to take care of you. And that's what we really are supposed to have with each other. We're supposed to be able to treat each other like that and love each other. And the only reason that we would ever not do that is if we're being cynical, if we're afraid, if we give in to fear. And fear can lead to a lot of really unfortunate situations. It can cloud people's judgment. So I said, in the example that you gave of two groups of people who are told they need to kill each other, I would say, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they'd say, hold on, I don't want to kill this person. What? And I gave an even smaller example. I said, let's break it down. What if it was just two people, two best friends who've known each other their whole lives, love each other more than anything, best friends, told someone comes and says, one of you needs to die. You both cannot survive. As long as one of you is alive, the other one's going to die. So take your pick. Who's going to die? do you think those best friends would just instantly turn on each other and try to kill each other? Or do you think they might sit for a minute and say, oh my God, what are we going to do? And try to figure it out, try to come to an agreement on who has to die, or if they both die, or find a way to have neither of them die. Figure something out. They would figure something out. They wouldn't just turn on each other and attack each other like animals, because that's just not in our nature. It's somewhere in our nature, but it's not what's really at the core of who we are. And it's sort of like how there's some instincts that are really obsolete and kind of stupid and counterproductive. So you could say technically it's natural, but it's not healthy. I think we have a lot of natural instincts that are unhealthy and that aren't really based on us being authentic. It's sort of like we lose sight of who we are and just become very primitive, and we have the capacity to go beyond that. So we need to use that. We can't have the excuse of like animals who do crazy shit, because they can't even talk. We can do so much more than animals, and we can't use instincts as an excuse for horrible and harmful behavior. So I don't believe that morality is an opinion. I believe that it's innate in everyone. And if you actually, I think that there's been surveys and tests where they've asked people all around the world from all different backgrounds and cultures what their thoughts are on morality, and people give a lot of the same answers. That's because it doesn't come from what you learn, what you're exposed to, what you believe. It comes from within. We all know the difference between right and wrong. We all have a moral compass. It's just that sometimes we find ourselves in stressful or fear-based situations that encourage us to tune that out. And we regret it later if we're really given the chance to think about it. And I think a big part of this comes from privilege. Some people are given everything and kind of spoiled, and they don't have to think about it. They don't have to worry about other people. Like, you think of someone who was born and they had everything versus someone who's poor, and they don't even know about poor people. Or maybe they were exposed to judgmental, harsh behavior or taught harmful things, so then they become judgmental of poor people, and they're like, oh, you're poor. And it's like, that's such a it's so sad, it's so unfortunate to see someone bullying someone for being poor, but it happens all the time, and it's immoral. But the psychology behind it, my understanding of it, is that it's a result of ignorance. And I think it's, to a degree, it's willful ignorance. I think people are smarter than they'd like you to believe, smarter than they're given credit for. People do ththings out of fear. It's that simple. You bully someone because you see other people doing it. You think you're supposed to do it. You're trying to fit in and be normal and fit in with your class. And I also heard in a TV show called The Good Place, there was another interesting explanation about like me versus us, where sort of like as we evolve, we have to learn to work with other people and not be selfish. And then once we learn to work with us, then it's about us versus them. And that's sort of like, we find groups, and sure, now it's not just singular, now we have groups, but then we don't want to get along with the other groups, and then all the groups start attacking each other. And we haven't really made it past that stage of evolution yet. But there are some people who are still stuck in the me versus us stage, where they see it as, it's me against the world. I have to do this by myself, and I have to do whatever I can to survive. This mentality, I think, is the mentality that drives a lot of billionaires. I think there are a lot of very wealthy, powerful people who cling to their wealth with a death grip, and they do all sorts of horrible things. Now, take my spiritual beliefs. I believe a lot of these people start feeding this low, negative, fear-based thinking, this dark energy. I believe a lot of them become possessed or just have attachments, which in my mind is like a dark energy just kind of latched onto you, not behind the wheel, not in you, but the next worst thing. And I believe a lot of these people have serious paranormal problems, and that I see it in their eyes. There's just something. I'm not going to name names, but there are some billionaires. I've seen their faces. There's nothing behind their eyes. They're very cold, and it's because they have fed into dark thoughts and beliefs and mentalities. and you lose yourself when you do that. You lose your grip on reality, and you can't say that it's not your fault. You chose to go down that path, and you can also get out of it. It's not going to be easy. No one can do it for you, but you can get out of it, and it's just unlikely that you will. But you're still not above the law. You're still not above karma, and you are going to have a lot to explain yourself for. You're going to have a lot of people that you're going to need to confront and apologize to. The people that you thought it was okay to hurt to get where you wanted to be. And this is the problem with, like, because people tried to make that argument this morning when I was having this debate on Discord. Two of the people that I was talking to, they were saying that, well, people in history, they all used to agree that sometimes, like, genocide or slavery was okay. And it's like, are you saying that just because a lot of people agreed with it, that makes it okay? And they're like, well, you can't say that was fear because they were wealthy and privileged, so they didn't have anything to be afraid of. And it's like, you don't know the nuances of this. You're talking to someone who's thought about this shit. You're talking to someone who's actually put an incredible amount of thought into the psychology of human behavior and understands on a very deep level how fear versus love actually works in the day-to-day and how it affects the way we think and the decisions we make. I know this stuff, and it's not like it's never occurred to me. I mean, you're acting like you're disproving my arguments, but you're not saying anything I haven't thought of before. I honestly felt like these people were deliberately misunderstanding me because I was being so. I can't tell you how many times I had to say, as I said, or I'm tired of repeating myself, because I just kept having to say the same things over and over again. And they just would not get it. It was like they were trying not to get it. It was driving me nuts. But anyway, the last thing that I want to talk about today, moral philosophy and whatnot. I have had some weird experiences with people who are mentally ill. And this connects to an argument that I was having about whether or not the LGBT community is mentally ill. I had someone saying gay and trans people, they're mentally ill, they're degenerates, they're, what else? Unnatural, it just, like, I don't know, just all sorts of things that really are not good to say about somebody. And I have a friend who is, talking to me about possibly being schizophrenic. And, I can't wrap my head around ever coming up to someone and saying to them, "Oh, I think you're schizophrenic. I think you should go get diagnosed, or you need help." Imagine just walking up to someone on the street and saying that. You wouldn't do that. I mean, and if you did, a lot of people would generally agree that that would make you an asshole. You don't just tell people that they're mentally ill when you don't know them. You don't know their story. You don't know what's going on. You're not a doctor. You're not equipped to diagnose them with anything. And yet you're trying to help them from a completely condescending place. It's like the difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is like reaching a hand down and being like, here, let me help you. And empathy is like giving someone a hug. Empathy is more like, we're on the same level. I feel your pain. I get it. And I'm here with you. And sympathy is more like, oh, you poor thing. Must suck to be you. Like, but I'm fine. Like, there's a lack of connection with sympathy. And that's kind of what it is. It's like, oh, well, they're mentally ill. They need help. It's like, that's not right. I mean, even if they were mentally ill, which I don't think they are, that's not how you handle it. Mental illness in the first place is very stigmatized unnecessarily. I think people need to really understand that even people with mental health issues, they're still human. They still deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. And in my opinion, if you bring spirituality into it, you're going to notice a lot of people who've been misdiagnosed and people who have completely different reasons for being mentally ill. I think a lot of mental conditions and disabilities and disorders are actually, not all, but I think a lot of them are actually just people who are not properly utilizing their intuitive intelligence or empathic abilities, meaning that they're absorbing energy and not really knowing where to put it. Thinking, picking up on other people's thoughts, emotions, and not, carrying the weight of it, not realizing that it isn't theirs. I hate it, by the way, when people brag about being an empath. It's not something to brag about. It's often a burden, and you often don't even know that you are. You probably got misdiagnosed with autism or ADHD or something, and didn't realize that a lot of the extra stuff that you were dealing with was not even yours. Because it's hard to tell when you have a thought or an emotion or a heavy feeling that it's because of the person you're in the room with, you know? It just happens. I'm not gonna read that because this is not a channel for debates. As I said, the link to my debate channel is in the description, and I have a show that I do on there too. If you want to discuss something with me, you want to debate with me on something, go right ahead. I will read that when I'm done talking, but I'm not going to distract myself with it. All I saw was the first sentence, and it wasn't nice. So, anyway, let's see, where are we? Lost my train of thought already. Talking about mental illness, mental disorders. Okay. Did you say hell? Oh, oh no. You are a complete contradiction. You have zero empathy and treated Dave London horribly. You are not a nice or caring person at all. Go to hell. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because I was actually just about to segue into talking about Dave London. I don't know who you are. I would not be surprised if you are Dave because I cannot imagine um, a regular person defending him. He has done nothing but say weird, creepy things about me for the past year, tell people that I'm a Trump supporter and a Christian, tell people I'm not in a relationship with my boyfriend and that I'm in a relationship with him, just make weird comments about me constantly and lie to people about me and tell other random live streamers about me for no reason. Just very strange behavior. And then talk to me privately on Discord, send me pictures that weren't him and lied and told me they were, and then when I proved it, he lied even more. Literally nothing about him is normal. He's clearly got some very serious mental health issues, and that's why I was about to bring him up, because I want to admit something. So, the people that I was talking about, I want to finish what I was saying first about like misdiagnoses. I think that people who are misdiagnosed and have these mental conditions, they generally function pretty well. They're generally pretty normal. But people with mental illness, which I think is sort of like darkness, that is also has a spiritual element. And again, I'm not saying it's always this spiritual thing. I'm just saying that I see it quite a bit. This is when people have something dark attached to them, something very toxic and low level energy that is attached to them. And this is also unfortunate. I mean, you got to call it what it is. You can't sugarcoat it and pretend it's something else. And this is another difficult thing. People love to play the victim, and people love to play the sympathy card and say, "Oh, you should feel bad for me." But honestly, you know, you have to be realistic. If all you're doing is speaking the truth and someone feels attacked, you're not attacking them. You don't have to feel bad. But I did attack Dave. I'll be honest. I said some nasty things to him. I called him a disgusting maggot. I called him a creep. I said a lot of things to him. I said I hated him because I was very frustrated as I was talking to him, and I just knew he just kept lying to me. He wasn't processing or responding to anything I was saying. I said talking to him was like trying to use a computer from 2006. You know, I just felt like nothing was getting anywhere, and it was very, very frustrating, and it brought up a feeling of rage and hate. But I should have had sympathy because here I am telling someone who's, you know, talking about mentally ill, like trans and gay people, telling them that, to treat them with sympathy, and then here I am treating someone else who's mentally ill, actually mentally ill, and not treating him with empathy. So I feel bad. I don't know if his name is actually Dave. I don't know anything about him. I know I haven't seen what he really looks like. I'm pretty sure he's also another YouTube viewer named Trent Briggs. I mean, I'm positive because his account changed to his name on Discord too. His old account, you know, so clearly they're the same person, and neither of them are real people. And there's also another account. I don't remember the name, but there's another account that I'm pretty sure is also him. It's just all very weird. He's got a whole tribe of fake accounts and weird shit, and he's a very, very messed up person mentally. And I hope he gets the help that he needs. I hope that he takes a long look in the mirror and I don't know, gets some help because it's unfortunate to think that someone would spend all of their time on YouTube just deceiving people and leaving creepy, weird comments on their channels. Like, most of these people probably don't know how much of a liar Dave is. But I always knew that there was something wrong with him. He always weirded me out, and I've even said that before I started talking to him privately. I was getting frustrated with him just having him in my comment section, because every time I did a live stream, there he was, yammering on about God knows what. And I'll be honest, the reason that I continued talking to him, Dave is not a liar. Are you Dave? The real Cynthia? Who is the real Cynthia? Why are you talking about Dave? What is going on? You have to be another one of his fake accounts. Many people know him. Yeah, because he just spends all of his time on YouTube. He has no life. The one thing he told me about himself that I'm inclined to believe is that he lives in a condo his parents bought him and doesn't have a job. But that doesn't explain why he was always too busy to FaceTime or to send me a picture of himself doing something that only he could do. I'm his friend. Oh, you're definitely Dave. Dave doesn't have friends. Are you kidding me? Dave doesn't have friends. Certainly not friends that would defend him like this. Are you crazy? I know you're Dave. Don't even try it with me. Good Lord. I was wondering why someone would come on here and be hostile with me, given what I'm saying. I was assuming that it was going to be political or based on something that I said that, like, psychic, that you disagreed with. I did not expect Dave to get brought up. I told you, Dave. I know you're Dave. I told you to leave me alone. Get off my comment section. Stop talking to people about me if this isn't you and somehow it's just a person defending you for some godforsaken reason. Leave me alone. I don't want you around. I'm not even planning on talking about you after this video. I just wanted to use you as an example of someone who is mentally ill, who I did not behave properly around. The most moral thing to do would be just to ignore you, not engage, just leave you to it, and, you know, plant some seeds in your head that might help you in the future, but not engage. And, let's see. What else did I say? Oh yeah, and just make sure that I don't insult you or attack you. But the reason that I did it was, if you've ever seen a TV show, it's brand new, it's called Baby Reindeer. There is a crazy character, I won't spoil anything, but there's a crazy person, and then there's a person who's fascinated by and sort of becomes kind of obsessed with the crazy person, to the point where it's hard for him to get her out of his life, because he's so mind-boggled by her insane behavior. Like, how could someone leave me this many voicemails? How could someone leave me this many emails? And it's like, I could just get her out of my life, but I don't want to, because I need to understand this. And even after he did get her out of his life, he still couldn't wrap his head around it. That's how I felt with Dave. I was like, what? What? It was blowing my mind. And it still is, honestly. But I will acknowledge that that's not appropriate. It's not healthy. It's understandable, and it really isn't that big of a deal, you know, because it's not like Dave is getting his feelings hurt or anything. Dave is a monster. Dave behaves like a monster. I mean, just look at the way this person is talking, if you can see these comments. Why don't you go to college and learn something? You call everyone who is a friend with Dave, Dave. What is wrong with you? How would you know that? You're clearly Dave and Trent and everyone else. You don't have friend or viewers. I'm his friend. Yeah, no, see, listen to, like, clearly, this is awful behavior. So it's not like this is some innocent, helpless little person who doesn't know what they're doing. He knows what he's doing. You know? Like, it's wrong. I wish there was a way for me to find the real person behind all of this, the real Dave, find out his real name, what he really looks like, where he lives, and go over and slap him in the face. That would be pretty satisfying. But again, not my business, and I would never do something like that. So all I can really do is just let it go, you know? Get away from me, stop commenting about him. You dating a retard. You might as well have just told me you were Dave. See, guys, Dave called my boyfriend a retard. and said he was, his elevator didn't get to the top floor or something. And I said, dude, you're the hole where an elevator should be. Your elevator is out of order. What are you talking about? He said that my boyfriend is special ed. Like, what a coincidence that someone who's supposedly just a friend of you would say the exact same thing. Oh my God, it's sick. I mean, this person is very, very, very mentally ill and clearly has some dark shit going on. I would not be surprised if there were paranormal issues, because the behavior, it's sort of like if you sit in a sewer for years and expect to not have rats surrounding you and smell really bad. That's kind of what it's like when you play in dark, low-level energy. You attract darkness. So I've gone a little bit over the limit. I said 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm basically done at this point. I just am fascinated by the amount of comments coming through. You are unemployed, loser. You don't know that. You don't know that. Just like I don't know anything about you. Who are you? Good Lord. And yeah, see, that's what happened in the show too with Martha. Like, you think you've ended things, and then they show up again, and they're nasty this time. Very scary. Very, very scary people. I got a real life Martha coming at me. Holy shit. Yeah, it's disturbing. It really is. And I think it is important to treat people with empathy and respect. Follow the golden rule, right? Like the title says. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you should allow people to lie to you or deceive you or manipulate you. And if someone is lying to you and attacking you, it doesn't mean that you should engage. It doesn't mean that you should start a fist fight with them and keep going back and forth. But definitely don't just let it happen and move on. Make sure they know that that's not acceptable. Make sure that you tell them that's not acceptable. If you get a little carried away, don't be too hard on yourself, but make sure you know that, it's for your own sake, it's better to just breathe and let it go. Don't get all hot and bothered and frustrated and like, but I get it. I do. But still, it's not the best option. So, yeah, unfortunately, I've lost the nice version of Dave, and now I have the real Cynthia account commenting, pretending that they're not the same person, even though it clearly is. You're bitter and angry. Do I sound bitter and angry? I'm fine, man. I just spent 37 minutes talking about, my philosophical and moral opinions and stuff, and just having a good time. And then you came in, and brought in your toxic shit, and I'm not letting it bring me down. I'm not Dave, and don't know why you think that. You are Dave, and you know exactly why I think that. Okay? Now, one thing that I told Dave, I said, you can't lie to me. And I reminded him that I'm a psychic. I have done live streams on my other channel and a little bit on this channel, doing free psychic readings. If you want to go back and watch those, the best ones are the first ones I did. As they kept going, they became slightly less interesting, but the first ones that I did were absolutely, stunning. I have one example of a subscriber of mine, Cheryl. I love Cheryl. She's such a sweet person. She's just always there, always supporting, always saying nice things about my videos and proving that she actually watched them, unlike Dave, who just would comment to heart and shit. And she asked me about getting a cat, and I said she said, can I get a cat? Do you see me being able to afford it or whatever? I don't even think she said anything about money. And she just asked me if she would be able to get a cat. So I said, I don't see anything stopping you from getting a cat. And then I told her that I saw a litter of kittens. And I was like, I could see you getting this as soon as a week or two from now. And I don't see anything in your way, financially or anything. I feel like you can make it happen. It's just a matter of going out and doing it. And I said there was one kitten in particular that stood out that was black and white. And then, sure enough, she commented and said, actually, I was just looking at a litter of kittens, and I was looking at one that was black and white. And then the next week in my following live stream, she said, I got the cat. And then there was a part where I was channeling her mother, and her mother said, feed the cat. And I didn't even remember when I said that she had just gotten a cat. That completely slipped my mind. And she said, I forgot to feed the cat today. Thank you so much for saying that. It's just so funny. and weird. And I had so many moments like that on my other channel, and Dave never once wanted a reading. How suspicious that he never wanted me to go into him, because he's a liar and he's trying to hide. Of course he wouldn't want me using those kind of abilities on him, but I did anyway. I always knew there was something very fake and fishy about him. I just didn't care enough to do anything about it because he's just a random person commenting on my videos. But when he started talking to me privately and showed me fake pictures of himself, that's when we have a problem. So I exposed him, and he got mad at me, and now he's being a dickhead in my comment section under a new fake account. So I'm going to end this because it's longer than I wanted it to be. You don't practice what you preach, a total fraud, you are toxic, you don't have any abilities, you're not psychic. See, just mean, empty stuff. I mean, this is like such Dave behavior. It's not even funny. I hope I never see you again, Dave. I hope you leave me alone forever. We already said goodbye, and then you started talking to me from your Trent Briggs account on Facebook for some reason. You know, and you told me to fuck off, which is kind of ironic because I told you that like 15 million times, and you just keep coming at me. I don't know why you're obsessed with me. I don't know what it is about me that you cannot get enough of. I was flattered, but now I'm just disturbed. Okay? So please leave me alone. I've had enough of it. I do practice what I preach. That's literally what this video is about. Me realizing that, you know, even though it really wasn't that big of a deal, I probably could have been a little more empathetic than I was. And I do want to be consistent. I'm pretty consistent about everything I believe. If I tell someone that you should do it, then I'm probably going to do it. But I also want to clarify, that doesn't make it untrue. There could be a pedophile telling people that pedophilia is wrong. And you could say, but you're a pedophile. So that doesn't mean it's right. So, you know what I mean? Like, things that are wrong are still wrong, even if someone who's guilty of it says so. It doesn't matter who says it. It's still true. So, but just for the sake of following, you know, for the sake of being healthy, I feel better when I stay high and I don't sink to other people's levels. I don't go low and start attacking people, because that's what they want. They want to pull you down. They want to make you angry. They want to rile you up and steal your time and energy away. That's what these people do. Again, talking about like psychic stuff with I'm sorry I'm still going. I know I said I would stop, but I whatever. It's harder when it's live. When I do these pre-recorded, it's very easy to keep them strict, you know, because I don't have comments, I don't have extra stuff popping up. It's just, you know, and I wouldn't upload it if it were too long. I could just reshoot it. There's, you know, but live is live, so it is what it is. But hopefully it's all interesting. Hopefully it's not like you feel like I'm wasting your time. I just said 20 to 30 minutes. It's not like it has to be that length. I mean, I might even just call it an estimate. Anyway, it's the goal, right? And sometimes I'll exceed the goal because I'm very talkative. I'm just a verbose person. It's just the way I am. It's the way I've always been. I get it from my grandpa and his whole side of the family. They're all very talkative. So, I lost my train of thought. Aaron has been reported. You are a bully. Leave him and his friend alone. Shut up. Leave me alone, man. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I knew that would trigger my memory. So I was talking about, you know, people trying to bring you down to their level. So people who are feeding... Did you just call me a narcissist? Oh my God. No, people who are feeding dark energy, right? The reason that they are constantly trying to siphon your energy is because they need it. That the light is the food source, right? If we are energy, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're just energy in the shape of a human, basically. And, you know, we need light. That's where we get our food. That's where we thrive. When we are naturally in the light, just by vibrating on a higher frequency, we feel fulfilled. And when we go dark, which is fear, control, manipulation, ego, you're cutting out the light. You're not trusting that higher system. You're not trusting love or empathy. It's just all fear. You've basically made it just you, and you don't trust anything. Then you're alone. You're going to be starved. And it's sort of like a drowning swimmer pushing their rescuer's head underneath. You're not thinking. You're just panicked and fearful, which is, you know, what I was talking about with morality earlier. It's the same thing. That's what makes something moral or immoral, is the frequency with which you're vibrating. And people who vibrate low on that dark frequency, it's like being in a sewer. You attract dark energy. You get manipulated by that energy. And what does the dark energy want? Demonic energies, all sorts of dark things. Just people who are in the dark, they want to siphon light from people who are in the light. So if you are high, they're going to bring you low because they need that from you. But it's like pouring into a cup full of holes. They'll never be full. That you have to not give them any of your time, energy, or attention. That's what a narcissist, since you brought it up, Dave, that's what they want. They want your energy and your time, which is why the best way to handle a narcissist, cut them off 100%. Don't engage. Don't tell them you're going to break up with them. Just leave. Just abandon them. And don't feel bad about it either. They're going to try to make you feel bad. Don't. You don't owe them shit. You don't owe anybody anything because people are not entitled to your time and energy. It's something that's earned. It's something that should be a mutual exchange. And I think that there's a lot of psychology behind people who behave like that. You could go into their childhoods, you could go into things that they were taught, shown, raised to believe, etc. But it's not your business, You're not their therapist, you're not their mother. Leave them alone. And even if you are their mother, once they reach a certain age, you have to acknowledge you can't help them forever. So just let it go. So yeah, people like Dave, people who try to siphon people's light, who try to steal your time and energy and attention with toxic negativity and bring you down like this commenter is doing. If you're able to, they're retracting a lot of their comments, and I don't know if their account will get removed at some point or whatever, but if you're able to see these comments, they're awful, they're nasty, and I haven't even been reading them, but it's like, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. It's bad. it's an attempt to get me, but I have a wall up. You're not gonna get me. I'm sorry. If you want the light, get it yourself. You're not having any of mine. That's the best way to put it. Oh, hey, Zach is here. All right, let's see. Textbook narcissist. You can't even drive. You don't feel anything for anyone except yourself. Jesus, find something better to do with your time, Cynthia. And for the record, I'm not a retard, sweetie. Dave can defend himself. Zach, that is Dave. Sorry, Zach, I meant autistic. Yeah, Zach, that is Dave. It's Dave with a new account. Because Dave has probably like a million different fucking accounts with fake names. He's got Cynthia. There's another one that I don't remember the name. I cannot think of the name. But I got a Facebook friend request from that account like 3 separate times. And I was like, what the hell? And I asked Trent Briggs, I said, who is this guy and why is he friends with you? And he's like, oh, he's another YouTube person. And I'm like, it's probably also Dave, and you're probably also Dave, and everyone is Dave. I don't know how everyone is Dave or why everyone is Dave, but it's the only thing that makes sense. And I don't have the time or energy to indulge in lies. If you're going to lie to me, if you're going to be dishonest, I'm just not playing that game. I know the truth. I'm not stupid. I don't even have to be psychic to know that this is true. But hey, let me clarify for anyone new. Everyone is psychic. They're not gifts. It's not some super like weird, but it's just everyone can do it, and you do it every day. You'd be dead if you weren't using your abilities every day. But you have to learn how to use them in order to actually utilize them and function better. So it's worth learning about. Everyone has psychic and mediumistic abilities. I was trained how to give readings. If you want to do that, it's useful. You really get a handle on what exactly it is and what's going on. But you don't have to give readings. You can just learn the basics. Watch Ivy Rivera's YouTube channel. It's at Ask Ivy. She's a psychic medium. She's a genius, in my opinion. I'm friends with her. I know her personally. She's a very nice person. And she's like me. She's a very critical thinker, very no bullshit, just straight up tells you the truth. I've never been wrong. I'm very good at telling when people are lying. And I've always been suspicious of Dave. I was not fooled at any point. I wasn't thrown off or surprised by this reveal that he was a catfish. I was just disappointed because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but this has been a great disappointment, and this is just petty. I told Dave to leave me alone, and he's still here, commenting from other accounts. Very pathetic. Tristan lives in the negative. You don't, Zach. He is aggressive and bossy. It's just unfounded comments. All right, I'm going to head out. Thank you very much for watching. This has gone on longer than I intended. I said 20 to 30 minutes. It's almost at 50 minutes. But hey, like I said, live streams are iffy. They might sometimes be longer. And I'll just, honestly, I'll set that precedent right now. I will tell you. Instead of saying all of my solo videos, because I said with a guest it might be, 60 to 90 minutes, and by myself it would be 20 to 30 minutes. I'll say right now, 20 to 40 minutes is a little more realistic if it's live. So, let's just set a precedent if it's sometimes going over. 50 minutes is unusual. This is just a unique situation because of this Dave commenter, but I won't be talking about it. This is because this was part of, I told Dave, I said, I'm going to talk about you in my next live stream because I have, you're going to be relevant. But I'm not talking about you again after this. That's it. I'm done. I only will if someone asks, or if I think it would need to be explained. Like if you start commenting and I want to explain who you are, but I will make it brief because you don't deserve that much time or attention. I'm very happy with Tristan. You don't need to tell me how to live my life. Hypocritical of you to call him aggressive when you are spamming him with pathetic comments nonstop. Yeah, for real. All right, well, thank you, Zach, for tuning in, and anyone else who tuned in. My other live stream on my other channel has 600 views. I don't know why, because maybe it's the title, Conspiracy Theories. Maybe that intrigued people. Maybe it's my amount of subscribers. Who knows? Who knows? Zach, when will you post again? Oh, hey, Aaron. I'm glad to see you. Oh, God. You and Zach, I prefer so much to Dave. Such a completely different energy. It's not even funny. Oh, my God. The sense of relief I just got when I saw you. And there's Dave telling you to die. By the way, the real Cynthia is Dave. I am 100% confident in that. I don't have proof, but I just know it. I know it. Dave is not a real person. Nobody's Dave. This is not a real person. No one's, it's just, I don't even know what the guy's real name is. I don't even know if it's a guy. This could be a 3-year-old girl or a 70-year-old man. It could literally go in any million different directions. It could be someone who's really skinny, really fat, really pale, really, I don't know, black. Like, there could literally any number of possibilities. This could be, it doesn't even have to be American. This person could be literally anyone. They have shown me zero evidence of anything they've said about themselves. Nothing. The only thing that might prove their location is a phone number, but I'm not giving Dave my phone number. I'm not giving anybody my phone number. Nobody, my phone number is a rare privilege, and incidentally, Aaron and Zach have my phone number, but Zach is my boyfriend, and Aaron doesn't have any other way to talk to me, so unique situations. But even if I had Dave's phone number, that doesn't prove anything. I mean, you can have the same phone number and be somewhere else. Like, if I were in Florida, I could still keep my phone number with the same area code that I have in New York. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. I don't know about other countries, but I'm pretty sure if I went to another country, I wouldn't have to change my number. So, I'm just saying, I don't have any proof of anything about Dave. Aaron, what's not cool? You're much cuter than Tristan too, Zach. Really? Dave, I thought you, get a nose job, Aaron. What the hell? Who is this person? If you're not Dave, why do you sound exactly like him? And why are you being so aggressive? I mean, Dave doesn't have friends. Dave had plenty of opportunity to be friends with me. I put myself out there. I said, if you want to be friends with me, fine. Tell me the truth about yourself. I'm willing to, I'll be friends with anyone. I'm a very, very open and trusting person. However, I'm not a doormat, and you cannot lie to me. I will always know if you're not telling me the truth. So just because I'm trusting doesn't mean I'm naive. If you're going to lie to me, I'm going to know you're lying. And I'm going to call you out on it because I don't have time for bullshit. I don't have time for games. I'm 22 years old. I can't just be doing shit that kindergartners do. This is ridiculous. Like, it's insane. I'm not playing games. Oh my God, Cheryl. Aw, you know what? I'm gonna go for an hour. I'm gonna go for another 6 minutes because Cheryl just showed up, and I'm glad I didn't end this early because actually, I love Cheryl. I love having her around. And I can't end this knowing she's here now. You're not trusting at all, Tristan. You are complete opposite of trusting. As I said, and this is how I know you're Dave, because you talk exactly like him. Although the one thing that contradicts is Dave always said I was more attractive than Zach, and now you're contradicting yourself. But nothing you said was true anyway. You're just full of shit. You're a pest, you know? You're acting like a... What is the word? I can't think of a good adjective, but whatever. You know what you are. You know what your behavior is like. It's snake-like. You're a snake. That's what you are, Dave. Yeah, it's an ironic name, isn't it? Oh, he's calling you a pedo? Yeah, that's definitely Dave. All you do is call everyone fake. Dude, you are the only person I've called fake, and all of your other fake accounts. I know it's you. Like, oh my God. This is insane. Like, I cannot be more clear. I trust people when they tell the truth. And I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to believe them when they lie to me. I will always know if you're lying to me. Cheryl has never lied to me. I believe that. I know that. Cheryl is an authentic and honest person. Aaron is pretty honest too. There have been a couple things he said that weren't true. But you know, even in those moments, I was skeptical, but I just tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, doesn't feel right, but okay, I'll trust you. So I, if anything, am more trusting than I should be. Doesn't mean that there isn't a little voice in my head saying, you know, this isn't, you know, something's off about this, but I try so hard to be nice to people and to give people the benefit of the doubt. So Dave, for you to tell me that I'm not trusting just because I called you out on being a fake, lying creep, that's insane. I gave you way more time and attention than a normal person would. I indulged your insanity way more than a normal person would because I was curious as to what you might do next. I was like, what? It was like reading a book about a crazy person and just, you couldn't put it down. But I have to. I have to set a boundary. I did already, Dave. I said goodbye forever, and you said goodbye, and here you still are. So, the reason that I haven't blocked you is because I know you probably have a million other accounts, and blocking you won't really stop you. You'll just find other ways to come at me. But I'm just going to ignore you. You can leave your nasty comments all you want, but that's enough. After this live stream, you're not getting more than 2 minutes of an explanation as to who you are if you comment again on my future live streams. If I see you again and I read your comments, I'm just going to say, hey, by the way, everyone, this is Dave, or this is a catfish who is a real creep and a liar and don't trust anything he says. He's just going to be there. We'll just ignore him. And if it gets bad enough, I'll have to just block you. And if you keep coming back, I'll just block any new accounts. But I hope it doesn't get that bad. So anyway, let me catch up. Tristan, will you bring down Zach in the end? You will for sure break up. Aaron, you are awful streamer. Your lives are like 2 minutes and then you give up. Yeah, even Cheryl knows it's so obviously Dave. You don't try to be nice. You have been nasty to Dave, Trent, and now me. How would you know that I was nasty to Trent? By the way, I wasn't even nasty to Trent. All I said was the objective truth. I said I have quite a few reasons to believe you're Dave, and I named them. I said it's because Dave's old comments now appear with Trent's name on YouTube and on Discord, and all of Trent's pictures are fake, and I proved this through reverse image search. So I said those two things, that's it. I said, I have a reason to believe you're Dave, and I know all of your pictures are fake. And that's being mean to him? It's a fact. It's a provable fact. So, you guys are seeing a live, laid out example of how insanity plays out. Very, very fascinating. Because one thing that I've learned about crazy people is they will literally never admit the truth. They will die on that hill. They will hold on to their lies with a death grip. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can show them but you can have someone telling you, I never said that. And you can pull out your phone and say, here's where you said it. Here's exactly how you said it. And then they'll say, well, I didn't mean it that way. And it's like, no, you did. You did. Don't lie to me. And they'll just find every way to avoid taking accountability for their behavior. Do you know how rare it is to have someone come up to you and say, you know what? You were right. I was behaving horribly, and there's no excuse, and I'm sorry. You were right about everything. How euphoric to hear that. Do you know how good it feels to have your intuition confirmed, your suspicions confirmed? To know that you can trust yourself, to have someone confirm that what you were getting, what you were feeling was accurate, but people just refuse to do it. It happens sometimes, only usually from people with good hearts, people who actually have empathy and can choose the right thing over their own fears. But unfortunately, people are very primitive beings. People are generally pretty stupid. It doesn't happen very often, and you just can't expect it to. You just got to be realistic, and you got to trust yourself. People like this, Dave, they're just going to exist. You just have to ignore them. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Just let them go. Let's see. I'll be with Tristan for the long run, bro. Zach, you're so cute. Zach, will you post again? Yeah, Zach, you should. I blocked and reported Dave. Well, Aaron, there are many Daves. This is Dave. I mean, everybody's Dave. Anyone who mentions Dave or speaks up in support of Dave likely is Dave. The only people who know Dave who aren't Dave are likely other live streamers. And you can see that they aren't Dave because you can see their live streams and you can see clearly they're who they say they are. And they probably they in fact certainly will not defend or claim to be friends with Dave because Dave doesn't make friends with people. And I am proof of that. If he was going to be friends with any live streamer who's an actual person that isn't him, it would have been me. And he screwed it over with me. I gave him so many chances. I said, Dave, tell me the truth. I want to go deep with you. I want to get to know the real you. Tell me your real name. Tell me about the true you, and we can work on this. I'm into therapy. I'm not a therapist. I can't prescribe or diagnose, but I'm the next best thing. And I have some knowledge that therapists don't even have. My therapist said he was learning from me, so I will work with you. I'll help you. I put that offer out there, and he chose to continue lying instead. So there's nothing I can do. So yeah, that is proof that he doesn't have any real friends. He can't befriend anyone. He's just a lonely, weird creep who just watches YouTubers all day and has a million fake accounts with fake names. Don't let Dave get to you. He's not worth your time and energy. Yeah. Tristan said you were bad in bed, Zach. Never said that. He sent Dave D-pic. No, I didn't. You know why I didn't? Because I knew the whole time that I couldn't trust Dave. I said, Dave, if I sent you anything like that, you would probably send it to other people and either try to pretend it's yours or just expose me and say, oh, this is Tristan's, which is creepy. I don't want people seeing my nudes, especially if I don't even know them. So I consciously chose not to send you anything, and I feel good about it. I didn't do anything that I regret. I said some things that I probably didn't need to say. I engaged more than I needed to, but like I said, it was hard. I got frustrated. I'm human, but I can at least acknowledge that it was a mistake. Unlike you, who continues to act like you didn't do anything wrong when you, in fact, are doing horrible, horrible things. It's awful behavior. Inexcusable. Grow up. Come on. You're clearly an old person. You don't know how to edit photos. You don't know how to do anything convincingly. You're not a good catfish. This is pathetic. You need to be on meds, Tristan. Are you talking to yourself? Speak for yourself, Dave. No, you think he is lying. No, I know you're lying, Dave. They did things on Discord, Zach, if you know what I mean. I have my entire conversation with him on Discord saved, and I can prove that that's not true. I had some discussions with Dave because I was trying to get to know him better. Some of it was a little intimate, but it was just text. It was just learning about each other. That was it. I didn't send him anything inappropriate. Anything that I wouldn't want anyone seeing. I didn't, like, I didn't do anything that I'd be ashamed of, because in general, I don't do that. I'm very consistent. Guess what, sweetie? You will be old one day. Oh, God. Does that mean you are old? Why would you say that? Ew. Oh, that is so something an old person would say. Obviously, I don't have anything against old people. Cheryl's old. I haven't said anything bad about her. It's just that you seem to be ashamed of yourself and think you need to send pictures of young, attractive men. Like, oh my God. Like, you basically just admitted to me that you're old and that you think it's a bad thing. Like, everyone gets old. I'm gonna be old one day, but I'm never gonna be like you, Dave. Never. No one has to be like you. No one has to be ashamed of themselves. I think Cheryl is a great example of someone who's old but like beautiful. She's like just has such a light energy around her. I always was so happy to see her comments, just so uplifting and kind. I know, and I know so many people like that. I'm friends with a lot of people who are quite old, and a lot of them incidentally are female. Because if I'm being honest, women are just better than men. I can't deny that. Old men kind of suck. Um, Men kind of suck in general. It's hard for me to pretend otherwise. Just based on the people I've met, my experiences, I can still be friends with anyone. But if I'm looking back at my friendships that I really value the most of them, not all of them, most of them are women or other gay men like myself. That's my favorite type of person to be friends with. Yes, I'm 62 now. My grandma is 71, I think. I forgot how old she is. I think she's 71. My grandpa's 76. My grandparents are pretty old, and I love them. They're totally normal people. They don't go on the internet pretending to be other people. But one thing I do know is that if they were to try to do that, they're not great with technology, or at least my grandma isn't. She probably wouldn't know how to effectively fake things like this, which is why I thought, Dave isn't good at faking photos. This was very, very easy for me to prove. It was very, very badly faked images. And I promise you, anyone would have known that you were a catfish. You do not have to be psychic. You don't even have to be remotely intuitive. You could be the dumbest person in the world and still... I don't want to say that, actually, because there are some really dumb people who fall for scams. A lot of them are old people, actually, but you don't go after old people. You go after people like me. And no one like me would be dumb enough to believe you, Dave. If you get any nude pictures from people, it's just because they don't give a shit. It's not because they trust you, because you're not that convincing. And if they don't give a shit, then you can't hurt them anyway. It doesn't matter. People are pretty casual about that stuff nowadays. People have OnlyFans and everything. It's just, bodies have just become less shameful. People just don't care anymore. And I'd like to think of myself that way, but I still have enough self-respect to not let someone do something behind my back without my permission. That is a big no-no. So I won't enable a situation like that. And I knew sending you anything would result in that, which is why I didn't. You practically admitted it to me, and this was after I decided not to do it anyway, but you told me about another YouTuber who you supposedly had a picture of, and you were going to send it to me, and I said, don't do that. Because you said, don't tell him. And I said, so what, you're going to do this behind his back? That's wrong. I don't want to see something someone didn't want me to see. And I don't like the idea that you might do the same thing to me if I sent you anything. Ridiculous. He did send me a picture, by the way. And I did reverse image search, and it was not him. And he tried to lie. He tried to say, well, it's me, but it just ended up online somehow. And I'm like... It's beyond disturbing how people will cling to lies. But yeah, as I was saying, people don't have to be smart or psychic to know that you're lying. You're very bad at faking photos, very, very easy to disprove. And that's why I think you're old, because young people are a little more tech savvy. Young people are probably not embarrassed to show what they look like, and hide behind shit. So if you are young, maybe you're just one of those weirdos who just hides, and just is like chronically online. I mean, you're obviously chronically online, but who just hides and doesn't go out into the world and has no social interaction and is just very creepy. But I don't know. I feel like even if that were the case, you'd probably be a little better at faking shit than you are. I mean, you know what a good tactic to use is? Don't use pictures of celebrities and other people that you can look up, because you know what won't show up in a reverse image search is a picture somebody privately sends to you. But the problem is, no one's sending you anything because everyone knows that you're a lying creep. So that's the thing. Like, for people who don't know, catfishes sometimes can get around the reverse image search thing if the pictures that they're sending you are pictures that they received from real people who aren't online, then that wouldn't show up in reverse image search because it's not on the internet. It was sent privately. And then they can pretend it's them. But in that case, usually the picture will be higher quality. It won't be like zoomed in or blurry or anything like that. So, but Dave didn't even do that. Dave just sent me like models and celebrities, which is so sad, so pitiful. And he's like, someday you'll be old too. I could hear that coming from an old man. I mean, oh my God, that gave me chills when you said that. Creeped me out so much. That was actually the first time I really thought that was the real person talking, because so many things that Dave says just feel like a character, like an act, like a persona, like an idea of a person rather than an actual person. That felt real. That felt like it was really the person speaking as themselves. And that's why it creeped me out so much. Whoever this person is, they are very, very mentally ill, very, very dark, and they need severe psychological treatment. They probably need to be, taken from their home and given this treatment. I don't think that they should be allowed online. It actually baffles me that people like Dave are allowed on the internet when people like Aaron have restrictions and can't be allowed on the internet. We need to switch bodies or switch places. Hopefully not make Aaron look like Dave. God knows what Dave looks like. And I'm sure Dave would be all too happy to look like Aaron, but then he'd be trapped because Aaron is a prisoner. Although, if I'm being honest, I think Aaron can get out of his situation, but he just has to really try. But even still, I would love for him to get out through magical body switching, because Dave belongs in Aaron's situation. Dave actually is a very dangerous person. Aaron's parents threw him out. Not exactly what happened. I haven't been catching up on comments after that. Dave, he literally didn't even say 50. Grandma is rock. Photos are 100% real. Another falsehood. Oh my God, you're still trying to claim those are real? I literally proved they weren't. I found the real pictures where you edited someone else's face onto it, and you admitted that to me, Dave. I'm addressing you as Dave because I know you're Dave. Your lives always make me smile. Honestly, this is kind of entertaining. I'm a little disappointed in myself that I'm going so much longer than I said I would, but like I said, Dave being here makes this kind of a unique situation. Like, this blew up in the last couple days, and Dave and I had some arguments on Discord. So this is a very fresh wound for Dave. This just happened. And I just yelled at him as Trent Briggs earlier. Well, I didn't yell. Like I said, I didn't yell at him. I literally just said, I know that those photos are fake. With a period. No exclamation, nothing to sound like yelling. And he goes, you are mean to me. They call that mean. The truth is mean, apparently. He still thinks I'm Dave. Without Dave, your channel would be nothing. He grew your channel. I had more subscribers when Dave found me than I do now. I've lost subscribers, if anything. But I've gained subscribers from the music I uploaded, and from some of my live streams, I've gotten subscribers. My other channel has done pretty well, and it's not because of Dave. Dave is just one. Actually, no, he's probably subscribed to me with like 5 different channels. I should be realistic here. You think all those all those likes were authentic? They were bought. What likes? I never got any likes. All my live streams had like 0 likes. There was one live stream, one. It was the one where I was eating McDonald's, where the likes just kept going up and up and up. And I was like, how is this even possible? Did somebody buy me likes? So that doesn't surprise me. That actually makes a lot of sense. But that was just one live stream. All my other live streams don't get that many likes. This is so weird. This really reminds me of a narcissistic relationship. Like, you're nothing without me. Do you know how much I've done for you? Do you know all these things I did for you? Just like, what is that, like an Indian giver? Someone who gives you a gift and then tries to take it back or control what you do with it? Something like that. I don't know if I used that term right, but I think that's what it is. It's like, narcissists do that. Where they will give you things only so that they can hold it over your head later. They'll be like, here, I'm showering you with all this kindness and love and gifts. And then later they're like, oh, you're mad at me, but I did this for you. How could you? And you never gave me anything, or, whatever. It's always manipulation. It's never just an authentic, here, I'm doing this just to be nice. So, yeah, very, very parallel to a narcissistic relationship here. Dave is not why I'm here. It's Tristan's videos and good, interesting content. Yeah, I know, Cheryl. I know you. Girl, my man is frugal? Did you? What is frugal? He ain't spending money on likes. It's all natural. No, Dave bought Tristan the likes. Yeah, Zach, I knew what he meant. Oh, poor Zach. Get a life, Dave. Aaron's parents threw him out. Dave's face was in every single photo, except Cody's original. Okay, Cody's original is actually the only one, actually one of 2, that I didn't get anything back on reverse image search for. But Dave admitted that wasn't him. All the other photos, except for the last one he sent me, which was clearly not him too. I mean, I didn't get anything on reverse image search for that photo. I don't know where he got it from, but it clearly was not him. It was very like blurry, zoomed in photo of some model with like spiky blonde hair. It was not him. Didn't even look like it was from this decade, if I'm being honest. And I mean, hey, you know what? Actually, maybe it was him from when he was a kid in the fucking 80s or something. That actually might be true. Because he was very adamant about, insisting that was him. But I don't even think it's that. Even that would be ridiculous. And that guy probably did not grow up to look a way that he might be embarrassed of, like Dave clearly is. But anyway, all the other pictures that you claim are 100% real, I literally proved that they weren't. They all came up on reverse image search. And why would you do that? If you're just a real person sending me real pictures, why can't you just snap a selfie, send it to me, like a normal person does? Because it's not that hard to do. You only send weird edited pictures like that when you have something to hide. Okay? I'm done with this discussion because there's nothing else to say. It's so, this is ridiculous. I got some comments defending Dave. This was very, very creepy, by the way. Now, that I know Dave can buy likes, I want to mention something. My last live stream on my other channel where I exposed Dave, it was called Catfish Drama or something like that. Crazy Catfish Drama. There was a comment from Dave, defending himself, of course, and it had 12 likes. More likes than the video itself. And I thought, how can this be? Does he have 12 different accounts? He probably bought those likes. And there were 2 other comments that also had a disturbing number of likes defending Dave. And I don't know who those people are. They may just be people who didn't know the context and tried to defend Dave just because they didn't know the context. It's very possible. But it is also possible that they are Dave. It could go either way. But regardless, no one should be defending Dave. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Dave or not. No one should be defending him. There's something severely wrong with this person. Don't defend him. Don't talk about him. Just pretend he doesn't exist. And I mean it. This is the last live stream where I'm going to acknowledge him for more than a couple minutes. The only acknowledgement Dave will get in the future is a brief explanation of who he is to people who don't already know. And that will only be necessary if he's leaving comments, which hopefully he won't, because I told him many, many times to F-U-C-K-O-F-F. F-U-C-K-O-F-F. I felt like I said key instead of K. Meh, whatever. F-U-C-K-O-F-F. Dave, or whatever your real name is. None of the faces came up on image search. That's a lie. I have screenshots to prove that's wrong. All of them did. Every single one, except for the profile picture on the Cody's fan account and the last one that I mentioned of the model. But all of them were of different people. You know, that's what's weird. Like, putting off showering because this is so spicy. By the way, get ready for routine dislikes. Dislikes don't even show up. Jesus! Wait a minute. Now you're gonna try to sabotage my channel? Oh my god. This really does remind me of like a stalker horror movie where it's like, you know, you call them out and say that you don't like them, and then they show their true colors. Very, very creepy. Oh my god. That is disturbing. Good lord. Oh my god, what do you even do about that? How do you even... Oh my god. How do you stop this from happening? What? Get ready for routine dislikes. Please, just leave me alone, for fuck's sake. My god. This is insane. That is so disturbing. Okay, bye, Dave. Dave didn't nothing. I repeat, nothing mean to you ever. Dave said some nasty shit and is doing it right now. This is Dave, all right? Make no mistake. You know who you are. Sia wouldn't want to be ya. Never did anything mean or hurtful to you. You started being nasty. The faces did not. Prove it. Bye, Martha. I know, he's literally Martha Scott from Baby Reindeer. Oh, Dave, don't try to turn this on Tristan. OMG. Find another baby reindeer. Go away. I know, leave me alone. Like, holy shit. Here I am worrying that my live streams are going to feel weird without you because I was so used to all your comments. And I kept having to tell myself, like, no, your comments were always creepy and weird. You were always saying weird shit about me. And as much as I would like to believe that you would be missed, the truth is my channel is better off without you. Both my channels, all my channels. So get away. Get as far away from me as possible. I don't want to hear from you ever again. I don't want to see you. I don't want to think about you ever again. Get away from me. I wish that I could like report you. I wish that there was a way to stop you. Let's just put it like this. I hope karma finds you. I hope maybe you just have a heart attack and die one day. You just, you know, choke on your cereal or some shit. I just hope that your old age catches up with you real quick. Yeah, you won't be missed. I thought I would miss you. I did. And I thought maybe I was being harsh. But honestly, now that you've shown your true colors, good riddance. Threatening to actively hate me, to be leaving dislikes on my channel, that is obsessive, that is disturbing, and because I know you're willing to buy likes and dislikes, and I know how many accounts you have, I don't like the thought of you being able to do that. I don't know what you're capable of. At least I know I didn't tell you anything I wouldn't tell everyone. At least I know I didn't do anything that I'd be ashamed of. I don't have anything to hide. That is one thing going for me. There's nothing you could blackmail me with, hold over my head. I'm pretty open about everything, but I will say this. I don't like the thought of you trying to sabotage my channel. You will fail. I will grow my channel regardless of you. But it's gonna be a little harder if you're fucking up the algorithm like that. That's not cool, Dave. You're giving me a hard time for no reason. It's already hard enough for me to grow my channel. But you know what? If a video goes viral, one dickhead with a bunch of accounts disliking it isn't going to stop it. If I really have a viral, successful video, there's nothing anyone can do to stop it from going viral. That's how viral videos work. So I guess you're not really that big of a threat. There's really nothing you can do to me. I just don't like the thought of someone trying to do something to me. I mean, what if it gets to the extent of you, like, hunting me down and finding where I live and trying to kill me or something? Like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea that someone has me in their head as an enemy and is trying to take me down. That's so creepy. Oh, God. This person was on my channel for a year? And I allowed this? Oh my god, I wish I would have blocked you immediately. Wish I never gave you a chance to get to know me, Dave. Although, to be honest, I don't know if it would have made a difference. Like, you might have just... You would have probably found me anyway. And clearly, I can't stop you from watching me because you just have a million different accounts. So, there's nothing I can do. You were mean first, so this is fully justified for Dave. No, I wasn't. I wasn't mean. Calling someone a liar when they lie is not mean, okay? Dave was mean first. Dave made a threat to say mean things when all I said was that I didn't believe he was being truthful. And I have seen irrefutable proof of this. So, yeah, you're just lying. That's so wrong to try and sabotage Tristan's channel, so wrong. You will never have a successful video. Bruh, you have 1 like. I have 2 likes on this, actually. Calling someone a liar is mean, period. Not when they are lying, though. I mean, is calling a liar mean? Like, you were lying. How am I even having this conversation? When someone lies to you and you call them out on it, that's not mean. It's just you having self-respect to not be lied to. It's pathetic. This is so pathetic. I can't believe this. You know how many times I said I hate you to Dave? I said I hated him. And he's like, I thought we were friends. I love you. And I'm like, why? How? What? So bizarre. You know, in other news, I got in trouble on Instagram for sharing a funny post. Somebody said that he was a penguin erector at a zoo, and his job is to pick up penguins after they tip over from looking at planes, because they just, tip over. And I just thought that sounded so funny, so I posted it on my story. And Instagram got me in trouble for posting false information. They were like, this has been proven false. And I'm like, it's a joke. Are you kidding me? You're going to call me someone who's promoting false information for posting a joke? So I tried to refute it and say, hold on, this isn't fair. This is way too harsh. They were like, your account is at risk for losing monetization. My Instagram account isn't monetized or anything, but it's the principle of it. You can't get me in trouble for sharing a joke. Come on. I mean, the original post itself didn't even say false information. I didn't care if it was false. It was funny to picture someone who has the job of picking up penguins after they tip over from looking at planes. And Instagram tried to get me in trouble for it. It's like unreal. Facebook is awful. Like, I reported the Trent Briggs account and that other catfish, Dale Ward, the one that I was talking about a few live streams ago, because he also has an account full of fake pictures of this guy named Lucky Bluesmith. Is a model. He's a model. He's a known person. I didn't know him, but I did reverse image search and I found out who he was. And this guy is using his pictures and pretending that it's him. So I reported his account. Facebook did nothing. And I reported Trent Briggs for being a fake account. Facebook did nothing. And Facebook and Instagram are both Meta. They're both like Mark Zuckerberg shit. They're not that good. They don't protect people, these accounts should be taken down. They should be reported, and the person behind them should be targeted and dealt with. I mean, God, I wish this was illegal. I wish Dave could be incarcerated and kept away from the internet. But let's just leave him up to karma. There's nothing I can do. I'm gonna stay high. Like I said, in the future. Not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna stay high, do my thing. Dave can be low and dark and miserable and all that shit. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not gonna go down there with him. I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna trust that things will play out as they're meant to. Dave will get his karma, and I hope it's a heart attack. I really do. I hope it's something that prevents him from using the internet, prevents him from interacting with other people, or maybe forces him to interact with actual human beings in real life, because, God, I wonder what he's like with real people in real life. Probably doesn't. I mean, I would not be surprised if he really just hides out in a basement or some dark, creepy room somewhere and just uses the internet all the time. But whatever. It's his life, his business. I'm gonna let it go. Eventually, he'll get tired of bothering me when he realizes I'm ignoring him. And also, I'm gonna not directly address him because I think that's important too. I will talk about him like he's not here, even when he's commenting. So, in fact, I'm gonna start that now. No more directly addressing Dave. Dave, goodbye. I've had enough of you. Let me catch up on some comments, and then I'm going to end this because it's almost, going to be 100 minutes. Sweetie, you ain't got nothing on him. The nerve to say someone will never be successful when you're literally sitting in a dusty-ass basement pretending to be 30 damn people. I know, right? If you're not Dave, goodbye. You're still wrong taking up for Dave. 95% of people lie online. That isn't even true. I don't know where Dave got that number from, but that is not true. Most people tell the truth. People lie, but there's no different statistic of people who lie in real life and people who lie on the internet. People who lie in real life are going to lie on the internet and vice versa, because liars are liars. They don't have, they don't become a different person. Someone who is a liar isn't just going to suddenly become truthful in a different area of their life. People who think it's okay to lie, they do it in all areas of their life. They do it in relationships, in casual context, especially if it's pathological. They do it for no reason. And it's not 95% of people. That's an insane statistic. Anyone who believes that is insane. And in trying to justify lying. Lying is wrong. The only time that it's okay to lie is when your survival depends on it. Let's say you're kidnapped, and you have to lie to escape your kidnapper, right? That's okay. You're kidnapped, right? And if you tell the truth, maybe you won't be able to get away. But if you lie, maybe you can convince your kidnapper that they can have less restrictions on you, and you can use that as a way to get out. And then you're running free in the streets thinking, thank God I lied. Otherwise, I'd still be down in that basement, getting raped and tortured. So sometimes you have to lie. Sometimes it is necessary. But very, very rarely, I'd say 95% of the time, lying is unnecessary. Lying is almost always wrong, which, interestingly enough, circles back to how this video all started, where I was talking about moral particularism, which is a concept of morality that basically says there are no fixed rules that say a certain action is always good or bad, because it depends on the context. It depends on the situation. There's situations where in order to survive, you have to kill someone. Someone's trying to kill you, you have to kill them in order to stop them. And that's their fault. If they didn't want to die, they shouldn't have come at you trying to kill you. They left you with no choice but to defend yourself to the best of your ability. Maybe they fell and you kill them anyway, but you still deserve punishment because you shouldn't have done that, and you know it. You knew it while you were doing it, and you did it anyway. For whatever reason, it's your business. You need therapy, but it's your business anyway. But my point is, there are some situations where the same action committed in a different context has a completely different meaning morally, which is just goes to show that we give things meaning, but that doesn't mean morality is an opinion. Morality is still very much objective. What's right and wrong is still, unchanging. It's unwavering. You always have to try to do the right thing. And the simplest way to decide is say, is this coming from a place of love or a place of fear? Is this manipulation, control, lack of faith? Or is it coming from empathy, compassion, love, faith in a higher power? You're vibrating in that higher frequency, and you feel this fulfillment, this light within you. There's no room for dishonesty in that. There's no room for lies in that. Even as a psychic medium, I can tell you, spirits in the light can't lie. They're incapable of lying. Only the truth comes from spirits in the light. Earthbounds and other darker spirits, they do nothing but lie. They just say whatever they want. A coincidence, an earthbound might tell you the truth, because an earthbound spirit is basically just an invisible human So they can tell the truth and lie just as much as a human can, but humans lie constantly, for a number of reasons. But most believe that it's wrong. At least I hope. But anyway, spirits in the light can't lie, which just goes to show there's nothing good about lying. There's nothing light about being dishonest because it's manipulative. It is inherently a manipulative, selfish behavior. It's trying to control a situation by deceiving people into thinking that the situation is something other than what it is so that it goes in the direction you want it to. That's manipulative, and it's not okay. Tell the truth. I've always said, if the truth doesn't get you where you're headed, you're probably going the wrong way, unless you're trying to get out of a kidnapper's basement, obviously. But in general, that statement works. If the truth doesn't get you where you're headed the wrong way. Use that next time someone tries to lie to you. It's really just so unnecessary. People need to chill out and stop worrying so much. You can trust, Jesus Christ. I gotta read these comments because I just saw a weird one. You can trust the universe. You can trust a higher power to take care of you. All right, let me catch up. Whoa, I missed a lot, actually. No, they don't. Doesn't justify your behavior. Agree with Zach. Thanks, Cheryl. I'm sorry. And Tristan doesn't spend enough time with you, Zach. It's not true. If anything, I spend just the right amount of time with him. Just perfect. About half of the week. Thanks for staying on with me. Remember, Tristan isn't the boss of the relationship. Just ignore him, Jesus Christ. You have no idea how much time we spend together. That is true. We love you, Tristan and Zach, my very sweet internet friends. Aw, thank you, Cheryl. Remember, you ain't the boss of the relationship either, hypocrite. Zach, we know Tristan loves you and hates Dave, for a fact. Dave is the sweetest person I know. I know I said I wasn't going to address Dave directly, and I mean that. It's just I'm trying to make sure I don't do that. Wow, what a crazy comment. I know Cheryl, love him so much. And Zach falls asleep listening to Tristan. More like creepiest Dave, weirdest, loneliest. Go get back to bed. Maybe that's why you're so grumpy. I love you, Zach. Dave just felt bad for Tristan, so showered him with love. Dave is obsessed with me. What reason would anyone have to feel bad for me? Ridiculous. Next time, we won't acknowledge Dave because he likes the attention. Yeah, he thrives off of it. Like I said about people who feed the dark energy, they siphon it. They want your time, your energy, your attention. That's their food source. Because the true food source is the light. People who vibrate on a high frequency are getting that from the natural source. But people who don't know how to vibrate on a high frequency, people who make their decisions based on fear, ego, manipulation, control, they vibrate on a low frequency and they are starved. They need that light. So they, instead of getting it from the source by vibrating high, steal it from other people who are vibrating high. They steal their time, attention, energy, and they just siphon it right out. And that's all they want. They just want your time, your attention. They just want to take it from you. And that's what motivates them. They don't, there's nothing else they could gain from it. They just want to bother you, get under your skin. So the best thing you can do is just act like they don't exist. That's the only weapon you have. Completely ignore them, disregard them. They're nothing. Grandpa needs his beauty sleep. Are you referring to yourself? Zach is an old man. Yeah, I'm just enjoying firing back at this point. I know you're talking to Dave, but still, it's just funny to call Zach an old man. And sometimes I call Zach an old lady, too. This is so much fun. Do you have nice feet, Zach? Same here, Zach. And Dave kept his promise of leaving Tristan alone, by the way. No, Dave didn't, because here Dave is, leaving comments. The fact that this person is trying to pretend that they aren't the same person as Dave is insane. I know Dave had a thing with feet. And the fact that he just asked about Zach's feet just proves that it's the same person. But we already knew that. It's not that big of a deal. Dave is on a very low frequency. You're not fucking kidding, Cheryl. Oh my god. Not if you're still commenting, Dave. Learn the definition of leaving someone alone. And leave. Buy a dictionary. I'm not Dave, like I said. That's a lie. Get to the damn library. Look on Google. Alright. I'm caught up. This was interesting. Yeah, one of the most interesting things about liars, they literally never admit the truth. Never. You could have them at gunpoint. You could show them proof. You could literally get a whole jury to convict them guilty and prove that they're guilty, and they will still play the victim. Donald Trump is a perfect example of this. Oh my god. He was just found guilty on all 34 charges of like some hush money trial or something. I didn't follow the trial, but that's my understanding of it. And he was found guilty on all of the charges, and still somehow he's the victim and it's a conspiracy against him. These people will never give in. And the weirdest part is that when it's a political figure or even a political belief, the people who follow said belief, it's kind of the same thing as like a person who refuses to admit they're lying. There's people who follow untrue beliefs and ideologies. Flat Earth is a good example, and they cling to it with a death grip. It's very weird. I was having fun talking to the AI, the Meta AI on Instagram, and I said, can you present an argument, construct an intelligent argument in favor of atheism? And they did that. Then I said, now construct an intelligent argument in favor of the concept of religion. And they did that, and it was really well worded, and I thought, wow, this is a good point. I'm pretty strongly anti-religion, and I thought even that, it makes some good points. And then I said, now construct an argument in favor of just like general spirituality, and I gave some examples of like what that might entail. And then they did that, and I thought, wow, this is actually really smart. Like I could use this. And then I said, make an argument from the perspective of a flat earther. And then they did that. It was interesting. It was like they actually knew what the flat earthers believe. Now I said, now do the opposite. Pretend I'm a flat earther and it's your task to convince me I'm wrong. So then they sent me a long paragraph explaining why the earth isn't flat. Then we just got into a little discussion about that. It was just kind of fun. It's nice to know that an AI is actually capable of educating you and making some good points in an argument. Certainly more intelligent than the humans that I've seen discussing this. I mean, people are dumb as hell. Oh my god, people are so stupid. The things that come out of people's mouths. It's like, and a lot of it is just people calling each other the R word. Everyone's retarded, you know? You're a retard this and you're a retard that. Like, wow, so productive. Wonderful argument you've made there. As soon as people start making personal attacks, you know that they have no argument to make. Bogus charges. Still here, Dave? You don't deserve a voice. What's the weather in Clarence today? See, this is the weirdest thing about Dave that I've always been so confused by, is how, not just Dave, I've known quite a few weird online creeps who have the same behavior, and I mentioned a few of them, like Craig the Christian Spanker, he's a whole thing, Dale Ward, he's the catfish. Craig isn't a catfish, but he has the same behavior as Dave. You know, very, very weird discussions, never a normal reaction to something I say. He just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, who are you? And he goes, I'm Craig and a spanker. And I'm like, what? And then I got to a point where that was all he was talking about. I was like, do you have a personality outside of your spanking fetish? And he's like, I love Jesus. And I'm like, what? Did not see it going in that direction. And then he just, like Dave, could not have normal responses to anything I said. I would say, I hate you, and he'd go, but I care about you, and just like that. Just like Dave. Exactly like Dave. Except, to make things worse, Dave is also a catfish. Just like Dale Ward, who also is very weird, but different from Craig. Dale could actually hold a conversation. Dale actually acknowledged and responded to the things I said. It's just that he still was very weird. I sent a voice clip of him to my friend, and he goes, he sounds like he has dentures. And I'm like, he does. He clearly is an old man. All these people are just probably really old and self-loathing creeps who just don't want to put themselves in the world. And you know what? you should be ashamed of yourself. Keep loathing. Keep feeling guilty. And you know what? Maybe you should actually act like you hate yourself and hide from the world. Get off the internet. Don't talk to anyone. Just go hide under a ditch and no one will miss you. And no, I don't feel bad about saying that. And that's a message to all creeps, not just Dave. No one will miss you. You are not needed. All you do is siphon people's energy, waste people's time, and creep people out. Knock it off. You want to be in the world? Stop acting like that. Act like a normal fucking person and have some self-respect. Ridiculous. Going from personally attacking to acting it's all good. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what Dave does. Dave even did that in the private conversation I was having with him. Very weird. Look it up, Dave. You are an oddball. I love that. Dave's not in the chat. Oh, Jesus Christ. You are, honey. No one's drinking your Kool-Aid. It's time for you to go to bed. Should have been in bed at 6. Zach, you are adorable. Dave deleting his comments because he forgot he was Cynthia. What the hell? Ha 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 ha, he did it again. You have no value either, Tristan. Shut up, Dave. Dave helps people. I'm sure Dave thinks he's helping people, you know, because when I see these comments on other people's live streams telling random live streamers about each other and buying people likes and shit, I'm sure he thinks he's helping people. But he's really just being creepy. No one needs that. Get away. Get away. I said I didn't want to talk to Dave anymore, and I didn't mean just the Dave name. I meant everyone, sir. Everyone that you pretend you are. Trent Briggs, this Cynthia character, whatever the other person's name is, any other account you have with any other name, it is you who I want to leave me alone, not your Dave character. Don't you understand? I'm not talking to the character Dave. I'm talking to you, the person behind all of these fake names and personas. I want you to leave me alone. You are who I said goodbye to. So I'm gonna end this live. It's been fun, but nothing's happening anymore. I have no reason to keep it going. No one's saying anything interesting. It's I just can't just can't believe he asked Zach about his feet. That is fucking killing me. You know, it just like the weirdest, most random time. When I saw that pop up, I was thinking there was context. There was not. It came out of nowhere and was not followed up with anything. And that is 100% Dave, you know, like there's no denying that at that point. But that's hysterical. It's so insane. So fun. See you next time. Zach says he ain't done yet. Well, don't worry, Zach. If you want to talk to Dave, I still have his Discords. So if you want to go yell at him if you're not done, I don't care. I will. Getting Discord is easy. You can do it. You can go yell at him. Zach, I can find you someone to date. Jesus Christ. These comments are insane. Zach is not done. I know, that's so funny. Zach getting all feisty. I don't need you to find me anyone. Should I end the free entertainment? I mean, you guys don't have to watch. Like, hypothetically, if you're watching this in, like, a series of playlists, you can just skip it, right? I mean, should I upload an edited version without all the Dave bullshit, or should I just leave this as it is? It is pretty entertaining. I just hope nobody's bored. Tristan isn't capable of love. What a weird thing to say. This is like low-key fascinating. I want to end it, but I'm like so curious what's gonna happen next. I feel like I'm watching a show and I can't turn it off. I mean, you literally are watching a show, and if you're still here, maybe you feel the same way. Yes, Zach, LOL, get him. This is entertaining. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to address Dave, so I'll just say I hope he gets the help he needs. I hope that um, that he finds it in his heart to start raising his vibration. I hope that he gets therapy and says, you know what? Maybe I am doing things I shouldn't be doing. Maybe I could have a wonderful life. Maybe I could just open my heart up and be kind to people and trust that it's safe to be kind. Trust that it's safe to treat people right. And just see all of the doors that open when you do that. Maybe he just needs to cry. Maybe he has some trauma that he just needs to face and cry about and just move past it. Tears are like a door to just it's like it's like windshield wipers. It's like it cleans your vision. You can see better after you cry. You can see the truth because when you cry you're processing emotion and you're literally releasing actual toxins in your tears. Um, they've done studies that tears of emotion contain toxins that could like kill a rat or something. It's like um, I don't know about that. I haven't looked into that myself, but there definitely is something physical and toxic in tears of emotion. And you just need to let it go. Find the ability to trust that it's safe to be kind and let go of the fear, the control, the hatred, the bitterness, the anger, the loneliness. It's okay to be kind to people. You don't have to troll people. You don't have to lie to people. You don't have to deceive people. You're just losing your life on this. You're losing your time. Maybe you have a disability. Maybe you can't walk. Maybe you feel like your life has to just be being on the internet. Maybe that's all you know. Um, maybe you're stuck in a bed somewhere or something. But you can still, from that position, bring light into the world. I know people. I've met someone who was paralyzed, and he was awful. He was he was very entitled. He was very mean. Um, horrible person to interact with. I think his name was Chance, um, and he was terrible, but he didn't have to be. And um, you know, I think he tried using his disability to get sympathy, which is very messed up. Um, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. I am friends with a woman who was born missing her legs. She's nothing like him. That's an even worse condition. At least he had legs. He just couldn't use them. She didn't have legs. Never. So, yeah. No excuse. No excuse. Find the truth. There is no excuse to be a bad person. Morality is objective, and you will meet karma face to face if you continue to vibrate on this low frequency. You will just have to keep reincarnating and learning the same lessons over and over again until you finally accept them, and then you can learn different lessons. But if you want to stay stuck on learning the basic lessons of how to treat other people, then that's the situation you're going to be in. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I really feel bad for Dave. Let me catch up. It's so damn interesting. You would have stopped spamming hours ago if that was the case. See, Aaron left due to his limited attention span. You don't know why Aaron left. He has limited data. He couldn't even use YouTube until June because he ran out of data for May because his dad used the rest of it or something. Maybe he didn't want to deal with your bull. See a therapist. It would help you so much. God knows how Tristan bullied Dave. Well, if we're bringing God into it, God knows who you really are. God knows your real name. God knows where you live and what you really look like and what you spend your time doing, the decisions you make, how you treat other people. And I hope you sleep thinking about that. You're not going to go to hell. I don't believe in hell. You're not going to burn for eternity, but you are never going to get out of this. You're going to have to learn this lesson eventually, or you're just going to be stuck in a loop. And you're going to have to keep facing the people you hurt. And that is hell, as far as I'm concerned. It's not hard to be a decent person. God knows how you are bullying again. Yes, hope he gets help. Look in the mirror. Get out of here and find help. Clean those glasses. Yes, go away. Wear better contacts. Tristan speaking of kindness is a joke. You're the joke, Dave. Trying to call vulnerable people out on the internet. Real kind. Vulnerable people? What? Put a sock in it, Dave. You are the definition of a joke. Tristan, you were a bad person to Dave. He gave you nothing but love. Lies. He gave me nothing but lies. Listen to Cheryl. You can't speak about love. You ain't got nothing. Dave, you are a liar. This is 3-on-1, Dave. Dave was nothing but nice to Tristan always. Dave lied constantly. But let me say this. In the TV show The Good Place, there was a moment where a character wanted to improve herself. And for 6 months, she tried being a better person. She tried to be nicer to people. She tried to do it. And she lost her apartment, lost a friend by telling the truth. She wasn't making very much money. She told the truth about hitting someone's car and then had to deal with a lawsuit with that person, and decided it's not worth it. I'm trying to be good and not getting anything out of it. And then someone else told her, oh, you're looking for moral dessert. You only want to be good if you get something out of it. And has it ever occurred to you that maybe all the years you spent doing bad things, you dug yourself such a deep hole that 6 months of doing good wasn't enough to get out of it? And maybe all the bad things that are happening to you as a result of you being good are just the bad things you already did catching up to you. And you just you should just accept it. I mean, like, yeah, you lost your apartment. Yeah, you're now in a feud with someone about a car, but you hit that person's car. And if they're really wrong and shouldn't be suing you, you can make that statement. You can go and know that you have the side of right, instead of playing the victim and saying, oh, woe is me. And sure, you lost your apartment because you told the truth about something you did that you shouldn't have done in the first place. So you can't, be mad about that. Here's the thing, you didn't lose your apartment because you did something good. You lost your apartment because you told the truth about having done something bad. So that's I think what the other character was talking about. Like, it was your bad things catching up with you, So that's the thing. Like, when you try to be good to people, it will feel good. It will feel rewarding. But you're going to have to face all of the things you've done in the past that you shouldn't have done. And you should do it with love. Know that it's not about punishment. It's not about getting even. It's not about, you having to pay for all the mistakes you made. It's just about the fact that you owe it to people. You hurt people, and you do owe them kindness. You do owe them something to make up for what you took from them in the first place. And you can give it back to them out of love. Know that even if it's hard, you put yourself in that position. And that's okay. You can keep getting out of it. Once you reach a point where you've made up for everything, then maybe you might start seeing some prosperity. And you could call it moral dessert, but it's just sort of like the universe realizing that you're willing to work within its system, and helping you, giving you the tools you need to do it, giving you some encouragement, some positive reinforcement. That's all it is. It's never a reward as much as it is just encouragement to keep going. And stay vibrating high. And you're going to be tested constantly, especially when you level up and you go to like a new phase where you unlock a new aspect of your personality, or you learn one lesson, you go on to the next. New level, new devil. There's always going to be something else. And right before you level up, it's going to be a great test to see if you're really ready. So just know that that's life. Don't ever just give up. It's always worth trying. Always. Don't ever give up or doubt yourself. More like creepily flirting with him like a perv. Try just to be a better person, Dave. Your lies are pathological. Dave didn't lie about anything. Dave is lying right now, because that is Dave saying that, and Dave admitted, by the way, Dave admitted to lying. Dave admitted that those pictures weren't him, and then changed his mind later. Dave Dave has said a lot of incompatible things that cannot both be true. Agree with Zach. How do you know Dave? You supposedly aren't Dave, so you weren't there for every conversation. I watched and Dave told me. Yeah, no, not true. Dave was a constant liar. And so what if he was lying? Who cares? Did you listen to anything I've said? I just explained why lying is wrong. What do you mean, who cares? Why is Tristan trying to call out someone who has only supported him? All right, I'm done. This is giving me a headache now. I can't do this anymore. This has been an hour, no, 120 minutes. That's what, 2 hours? That's 2 hours. Hey, pretty good. 2 hours. What the fuck? Oh no, I did not mean to go on this long. All right, yeah, I gotta go. Cheryl, Zach, love you guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you next time. If you didn't see, by the way, my new schedule, every other Sunday I'm doing live streams between channels. So like every Sunday there will be a live stream, but it'll be back and forth between my two channels, and the link to the other channels in the description. But this show isn't always going to be the live stream. You know, sometimes I'll do an episode of the show in the middle of the week, and sometimes the live stream will be something other than the show. So this is more open-ended, and I'm really excited to continue episodes of this show. The Golden Rule, that's what this was called. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Basically, that's what it is. And it's pretty simple. I mean, I feel like that really is something people forget so often, and it's so important because it's so fulfilling. It's the root of empathy. And it is more nuanced than that. I know there are situations where having too much empathy can result in you being manipulated by people who are just trying to use you, take advantage of it. But, you know, true empathy involves seeing the truth in a situation and not letting people manipulate you, because that isn't love. That isn't kindness. That's enabling toxic behavior. So wow, Dave's deleting all his messages. Well, it's a good thing I read them, isn't it? Because I had a feeling. I had a feeling they were all going to disappear. All right, well, good riddance then. I guess that's that. Your messages will live on forever because I spoke them out loud, and I'm glad I did. I think I read all of them. So, for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about in the live feed, you can trust me. I, unlike Dave, don't believe in lying. I don't lie. It's just simply not something I do. I don't have time for games, manipulation. I trust the truth. And it's gotten me pretty good. Pretty good things have come from trusting the truth. So, yeah. Any stagnancy in my life, I can't blame on being truthful or honest. If my life isn't where I want it to be, it's because I'm not taking the steps I need to be taking. That's my own fault. And I don't play the victim. I don't like to talk about myself because it's not important. Who I am is not important. I even talk about, you know, like people that are of the same type of person as me. I'll talk about men like I'm not a man. I'll talk about gay people like I'm not gay. I'll talk about white people like I'm not white. You know what I mean? Like I'll talk about Gen Z like I'm not Gen Z. I'll talk about like 22-year-olds like I'm not 22. I don't consider myself, I'm not involved in this. I'm just a neutral bystander. And who I am is not important. Unless you're trying to get to know me. Unless it is, you know? Who I am is only important when it is. Sometimes it is about me. Sometimes you are asking about me. That's when I'll talk about myself. But in videos like this, it's just not necessary. All right. Well, that's it for Dave. I hope I never see or hear from him again. God, what a horrible, horrible, vile pest that is. I mean, just like having a virus, or I don't know, like a weed in your garden, just something that you just want to get rid of, and it's just buried so deep you just can't find the root of it. Just awful. But yeah, whatever. Dave is probably never going to change. It's probably, as far as Dave is concerned, not even an option, which is unfortunate. I tried. You can't deny I tried, even in this live stream, but definitely in private, I tried. But it was futile. And I kind of knew it would be, People like that don't change. Yeah, I mean, they need like a near-death experience or something to really shake them up. And even then, it's not a guarantee. The only thing that can guarantee it is their decision to do it and to consistently stick with it. Even the decision to do it can be undecided. You can change your mind. So you have to actively want to be a good person. And I know people who just have good hearts, and that is a rare find. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and I forgive mistakes because I know that you have good intentions and you have a good heart. You love people. You understand how to treat people. You don't treat people in a fucked up way. In fact, I might do my next video about that because I feel like there is some stuff to be said about some of the nuances and the ways that we mistreat each other in casual everyday conversations. I think that's an interesting thing to discuss. So yeah, have a great night. Thank you very much for watching. You are heartless. Oh great, I thought Dave was gone. One of the things that I always hated about Dave was how his comments never had anything to do with what I was saying. I would say something that I thought was really interesting, and other people would comment on what I said and acknowledge that it was interesting, or at least confirm it, because I can't claim to be interesting without other people confirming it. I can. I'm interesting. I don't care. I don't care enough. I'm confident. I don't have to dance around shit like that. I get awkward saying nice things about myself, but I think that's kind of comes from the same place of me being uncomfortable, just relaxing and trusting the universe. Not only trust the universe to be honest and truthful, but to just be yourself shamelessly. Just dance like no one's watching. Just have a great time, be free, say whatever you want, think whatever you want. As long as you know you're not trying to hurt anyone, and as long as you're willing to listen when someone tells you they did hurt you, and as long as you're always looking out for lies and manipulation and trusting yourself to detect it when it's happening, you don't have to spend all your time worrying. Just trust yourself. It's okay. You know who you are. People are going to try to attack you. People are going to get you. People are going to hate you. You can't control what other people do, what other people think of you. Just don't worry about it. So yeah, I said that what I say is interesting, and I stand by that. I don't think that makes me arrogant. I know I'm not arrogant. It's just the truth. I say interesting shit. Dave said karma and then removed it, by the way, just because I want to let you know everything he comments that he removes. I don't know what that was in context of. I haven't been reading the comments. Let me see. If he didn't have a heart, he wouldn't be speaking. He'd be dead. Take a science class. Learn biology. Oh my God. Human anatomy. Zach, you're too much. Doesn't look like he needs CPR. Do you know he's fake? You know he's fake because he deleted comments. I don't hear the Bee Gees playing. LOL. Pretty sure he's alive. If Dave hurts himself, hope you don't feel bad. Wow. That's another thing narcissists do. If you leave me, I'll kill myself. When they say that to you, say, fine, go ahead. Go right ahead. They'll never do it. They love themselves. They're obsessed with themselves. They will never do anything like that. There was a deleted comment from Trent Briggs saying, Dave called me sobbing last night, all because of you, Tristan. I almost replied to it, but then I tried to post it and it didn't work. And I looked and the comment was gone. I don't know if he deleted it or if the account got deleted or what happened, but it was gone. It was on my other live stream about Dave. So, it's Dave. All of these people are Dave. Anyone who claims to be friends with Dave is Dave. Dave probably has multiple phone numbers with different area codes. Dave definitely has multiple social media accounts, different pictures, different faces, and way too much time on his hands. So, yeah. I know. The truth hurts, buddy. I know you didn't want people to know all of this about you, but if it makes you feel any better, I don't think the other people you watch me. So, I don't think I'm really exposing you to that many people who actually it will make a difference to. I mean, nobody cares. No one cares about you. So, you know what? You want to make a threat that you're going to hurt yourself? Go right ahead. I don't care. I don't even know you. Like, fuck off. Like, deleting comments so we look like assholes. No, because I read all the comments, and I read them verbatim. I didn't change the way anything was worded. He's deleting comments because who knows? Who gives a shit? Dave is never going to hurt himself, unfortunately. I honestly think the world would be a better place without him, but he's just going to stick around and hurt other people and drive everyone nuts and be a dickhead. And we just have to ignore him. Maybe eventually he'll just fuck off. Maybe he'll learn some lessons. Hopefully he gets some healing. That would be ideal. But I can't stop him if he tries to take his own life. It's never going to happen, but it's not going to make a difference to me. One less dickhead in the world. He'll reincarnate, and he'll have to learn it all over again. Although, honestly, I don't even know how that works. Like, sometimes I wonder, like, because I know in order to go into the light, which is how you can reincarnate and continue doing work, you have to let go of your ego. He might just wander around Earthbound for a while. Then again, time is an illusion. So, you know, it's kind of hard to explain, but I feel like that's my understanding of it. And I can acknowledge when I don't know something. People sometimes say stuff and it's like, well, what do you think of this? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I have theories, but I don't know. But I'm also honest when I do know something, and I can tell you how I know it too. So you can trust me. I'll always be very candid about everything I know and don't know. So I don't know exactly what would happen if Dave died. But what I know is because he vibrates on such a low frequency, he definitely would just have to come back and try again and learn those same lessons again. And he probably wouldn't go right into the light. He would probably be earthbound for a while. But what's interesting is people who commit suicide usually do go right into the light, because people who commit suicide are usually very emotional people, and they usually are kind of high vibrating. They're usually very sensitive and just picking up on the pain of the world. People commit suicide because they feel like there's no way out, like they have no choice. And usually they're ready. Usually they've thought about it for a while and they know what they're doing and they're ready. And they cross over right away. They don't waste any time. They knew exactly what they were doing. Which is exactly why someone like Dave wouldn't even commit suicide. He's not the type. So, you know, I can't even explain what would happen. It would not happen. People like him don't do that. People who commit suicide are not like Dave. Just as people like Dave don't commit suicide. And this isn't just a theory. Like, this is backed by, actually looking at examples of when it's happened. Not just in spirituality, but in just, people who've attempted suicide and just learned, like, the types of people who commit suicide. There's science behind this. Dave isn't that type. Dave is a monster. Oops, I forgot to read that comment. Oh no, I'm missing some comments. There's 3 that I forgot to read. I don't know what he said. He already OD'd once and was hospitalized. Did Dave call us gays? What did Dave say? Cheryl or Zach, can you type out the comments that I forgot to read? Dave is trying to claim that he OD'd. I don't give a shit. There it goes. Message retracted. He said we are gays. Why? I mean, Zach and I are. You aren't. I guess you're the only odd one out. Look up, babe. What do you mean, look up? You know, if I scroll up, his comments are gone, right? Every single comment has been retracted. So I literally looked up because I assumed you couldn't mean scroll up. because then you would have said scroll up, right? And also, that wouldn't do anything, because, like, I thought you knew his comments are gone. Haven't you been listening to me? Now I'm paranoid about spiders just because he said that. If I had known I was going to be down here this long, I really thought it was going to be 20, 30 minutes. If I had known I was going to be here this long, I would have brought water. How many times have I said I was going to end it and then I stayed? Scroll to your comments above Cheryl's. Oh, yeah, he said go to hell. I'll see you in a hot tub when we join you there. Yeah, now I remember. He said gays go to hell. That's what he said. Now I remember. Okay. I did see that. I just forgot to read it. So, you know what the Bible says about gays. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think about this. Like, isn't Dave gay? Dave said he doesn't call himself gay. He doesn't like the word gay, but he is a man who likes men, so he's gay. I don't care what he says about labels. That's what that is. That's what that means. So it's very weird to be acting like, well, Dave has always been religious. He's like, I love Jesus and I love Trump and I'm not gay, but I like men and I'm a man. I mean, I don't even know if he is a man. He could be a woman for all I know. He probably isn't. I think he's some fucking 50-year-old man. I would not be surprised. I have friends that are kind of old. I don't judge. Dave, if you show me your true self, I don't care. But you are going to have a lot to apologize for if you ever want to show me your true self. Because I'm not letting you get away with any of this shit. There's no excuse. Very, very depressing and disappointing. I've lost an old subscriber, but honestly, he was always insane and very creepy and weird. What a shame. Well, Dave is 26. So he says. So he says. But if you can't even prove that Dave is a real person, if you can't even prove what he looks like, how can you prove anything? Dave is just going to keep on commenting. He contradicts himself, not the 70s. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm tired of this. I'm just tired. This is exhausting. This is ridiculous and depressing and exhausting and stupid. A waste of time in my goddamn neck. Oh, my body. Lordy, I'm over 40. This, in The Good Place, when they had a random object generator to test Janet, the AI of the afterlife, to test her ability, they said, have her generate a random object, and it was a giant pencil that says, Lordy, I'm over 40, impaled on a giant stake or something really specific and weird like that. My energy is drained. I know, mine too, Zach. Dave took it. Literally, Dave has been siphoning our energy this whole time. Let's consider this the Dave series finale. I told him this was going to be about him. At least I didn't lie. I almost was going to end it without talking about him, and he popped in right at the end and stole the rest of the live stream. But as long as we entertained some people, it was a worthy sacrifice, because, you know, I'm sure it was a horrible, miserable experience what that guy, I can't remember his name, the guy who made the show Baby Reindeer, what he had to go through with Fiona Harvey, the real Martha Scott. I'm sure it was a horrible experience, but it got us a great show that's entertaining and interesting and gets people thinking. Just like this, it was exhausting for me, but hopefully entertaining for you, hopefully worth something. I'll go. Y'all get some rest. I was gonna shower and fold laundry. Go ahead, Zach. I'm gonna head out. Good night, everyone. And Dave, this will be my last time addressing you. In future live streams, if you comment, I'm just going to tell people who you are very briefly and then move on and just tell them to ignore everything you say. So you can try, but it's just going to be a waste of your time. You will be ignored from here on out. And it's been really disappointing getting to know you. I hope you feel ashamed of yourself, and I hope you learn your lesson, but I know you probably won't. It's very unlikely. So, farewell, and Dave said he has never come back. Well, Dave, I hope you don't. Goodbye. And thank you, everyone who tuned in. You hurt him too much. Don't make me laugh. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. I will see you next week. Then why are you still here? Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. And to anyone who wants to know more about the Dave story, the full story, what happened, let me know. I can do a live stream telling you all of it. Because it's not too much, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of entertaining. And if I do that, we aren't going to be addressing Dave if he joins. Don't seem hurt at all. Yeah, no, Dave is scum. All right. Good night. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know why you stayed this long. This is incredibly long, like an hour and 20 minutes. Or sorry, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah. All right, I've said everything I needed to say, I think. Good night. I need water. My voice hurts.